This is a Viral Media production. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm your host Finn Swan and this is the Quarantine Collection. In the show I'm going to be sharing with you a series of songs from my music collection, some of my favourites from back in the day, a few new ones that I found that I really like, and hopefully you'll like them too. I hope everyone's doing well. I feel like a bit of a broken record here. I feel like I say that every time, but I guess in challenging times like these, just nice to ask. I've not been up to too much myself. I've been indoors quite a bit the last few days. It was my sister's birthday the other day, so we got together and had a meal and that. It was pretty nice. Changed things up a bit. As I said in the last episode, I've sort of got back into a bit of video gaming, so that's been taking up a bit of time there. I say a bit, quite a lot, fair bit, yeah. But as of right now, when I'm recording this, the BT blokes are out the front. They've shut off all the power, so I can't do any of that. I can record this. It's sort of, I guess it's sort of the universe's way of telling me to fucking do something, you know, or maybe not. Maybe it's just the fucking internet needs fixing. Who knows? So anyway, I hope you're staying relaxed, doing what you can. I started learning a bit of piano or keyboard. I ordered an old keyboard, second-hand one. Started learning that a few days ago. Something I've wanted to do for a while. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Something new for me to do. Not sounding all that good at the moment, but you know, hopefully I'll get there. Emma Smith from Real News Tonight actually plays a bit of piano, so maybe I'll ask her for some lessons if I can get hold of her. I haven't heard from her quite a while actually, so maybe I should give her a message. Anyway, right, so I'll get into the first track of the show. I feel like with the last few shows, I sort of have a bit of a somber, sort of slow track to ease it in, but I think right now I'm feeling something a bit more upbeat. Maybe other people are as well. Just a couple of weeks ago, obviously I don't have the Wi-Fi, so I can't really fact check this, but it is a few weeks ago, Tame Impala and The Streets teamed up and put out a track which is called Call My Phone Thinking I'm Doing Nothing Better. Been a while since I've listened to The Streets, so I sort of went back and I listened to a couple of their albums, of course with their debut Original Pirate Material from 2002, which is a fantastic album, and then I went to listen to A Grand Don't Come For Free from 2004. I just love the opening track on that album. It was supposed to be so easy. Such good like storytelling from Mike Skinner on that. Just funny as well. It's just a funny track. I'm not going to be playing you a track from A Grand Don't Come For Free. It's going to be from Original Pirate Material, one of the bigger ones on that album, and quite an upbeat one. Also pretty funny as well. So here it is. This is The Streets and Don't Mug Yourself.
A new day, another morning after, leaning back on my chair in a greasy spoon cafeteria. Last night was some beer lariness done our way, but again we're back in the light of day. Chatting shit, sitting at the wall table, telling jokes, playing with the salt, looking out the window. Girl brings 2 plates of full English over with plenty of scrambled eggs and plenty of fried tomato. Get my phone out, about to give this girl a shout, see if she had a nice time last night uptown. Ask if she fancies trying it again sometime. Then Cal grabs the phone like, oi, 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 oi. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. By all means you can vibe with this girl, but just don't mug yourself, that's all, don't mug yourself.
Seriously, mate, you fucker.
No, I mean, I'm no way really, do you know what I mean? I can take it or leave it, believe. And then Calvin's like, oi, you need to hold it down, Jack. Put your phone back, quit staring into space and eat your snack, that's that. She'll want you much more for not hanging on. Stop me if I'm wrong, stop me if I'm wrong. Why should she be the one who decides whether it's off or on or on or off or on? Now the girl's rude, I know she's rude, but she's screwed right through you. You'll be on your knees soon. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. By all means you can vibe with this girl, but just don't mug yourself, that's all, don't mug yourself. And I'm like, honestly, it's not like that. You're acting like I'm prancing like a sap, jumping when she claps and that. Oi, do you really think I act whack? Cause I'm telling you, I'm serving the aces and it's game, set and match. Perfectly in control of this goal. I've got the lead role, won't be folding, I'm older than you told. Girl sold, high speed's gold. Game over, too cold. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. By all means you can vibe with this girl, but just don't mug yourself, that's all, don't mug yourself. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. By all means you can vibe with this girl, but just don't mug yourself, that's all, don't mug yourself.
Yeah. Hold it down, boy, your head's getting blurred. I know you can't stop thinking of her. That girl, is she a smelly on her piece? She must have crab and fucking shrimp in her teeth.
No. Oh no, that's it.
Hold on, let me go again. Are we still recording? Well, yeah.
There we go, that was a nice upbeat and energetic one to start the show. That's Don't Mug Yourself from The Streets and their 2002 original Pirate Material album. Obviously that album has the track that really kicked off The Streets. Has It Come to This? Just one of the biggest tracks in garage music. It just really doesn't get more British than The Streets. Obviously they're pretty big in the UK. I'd like to know what sort of opinion of The Streets people in other countries would have of the music they make. It's so directly linked to British culture. I think it'd be quite interesting just to see what other nationalities think of it, and I'd definitely put it down as a recommendation. If it was a list of things you need to listen to as a bit of understanding for British culture, The Streets would be right at the top of that list. Obviously Mike Skinner left The Streets almost 10 years ago now just to do some more solo stuff. I know he's doing a lot of DJing. I think I went to a few festivals where he was DJing at, just him doing solo stuff, but as I was saying before, with the release of this latest single co-produced by Tame Impala and a few more singles that have been put out in 2019. Also The Streets have been touring a bit more together. I know last year they were at Boomtown doing a few other festivals. They were supposed to be doing NAS this year. I'm not sure if that's been cancelled, but hopefully with this new single out and then back together making music, we could have an album potentially from them within the next year, which would be great to hear that. And I would like to apologise to the BT workers who I accused of shutting down the Wi-Fi in my house. Actually turns out that it was the dishwasher tripping it off. So, I mean, they might have had a hand in it, possibly. It's all a conspiracy, but at the moment it looks like it was the dishwasher's fault, so I apologise to them. The next track I've got for you is quite a change in tone. It's going to be one from Nick Drake. Nick Drake's someone that I only came across within the last year. I hadn't heard any of his music before. I just really like the way it sounded. It's quite basic. It's just him and his guitar, really. That's just really nice music that he makes. So the track that I'm going to be playing for you is from his album, which came out in 2007, Family Tree. When you're listening to it, you'll probably be wondering how it was coming out in 2007 and sounded like it was recorded 30 odd years ago. I only recently found out that Nick Drake died back in the 1970s, 1974 it was. So all of these recordings were done by him back then, and now more recently put together in albums by, I don't know, maybe his family or loved ones. I definitely recommend just listening to his music if you enjoy this. I was quite surprised also by listening to it. It's Nick Drake's an English musician. It sounds very bluesy, sort of American style of music. Anyway, I'll let you have a listen to that now. This is from Nick Drake's Family Tree album, and the song is Been Smoking Too Long. Here it is now.
Well, I wake up in the morning, look at my clock. It's way past noontime, know I'm late for work. Tell me, what have I done wrong? And nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too long. Well, I go to find me some breakfast, but I ain't got no food. Take me a shower, but the water don't feel no good. Tell me, what have I done wrong? And nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too long. I got opium in my chimney, no other life to choose. Nightmare made of hash dreams, got the devil in my shoes. Tell me, what have I done wrong? And nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too long. Well, when I'm smoking, put my worries on a shelf. Don't think about nothing, try not to see myself. Tell me, what have I done wrong? And nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too long. Well, in this blues I'm singing, there's a lesson to be learned. Don't go around smoking unless you wanna get burned. Tell me, what have I done wrong? Ain't nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too. Ain't nothing go right with me, must be I've been smoking too. Everything going wrong with me, must be I've been smoking too long.
And that was Been Smoking Too Long by Nick Drake from his Family Tree album. So Nick Drake wasn't really recognised during his time. He's only recently sort of blown up with a lot of people listening to him. Many famous figures now, really influential artists, wasn't around to see how their work would be appreciated. A lot of that could be down to the fact that he didn't really like to perform live or have any interviews with him. So I guess back in the 60s and 70s when he was making this music, the only way of people actually finding his stuff would be from hearing it through the radio or just word of mouth or just having to pick up his album in a record store. I mean, today we've got the internet to help search through archives of different tracks and songs and artists. As I was saying before, Nick Drake died of an overdose. He was only 26 years old. But just listening to his songs, he sounds much older than that. 26 is so young. But yeah, that was Nick Drake there. I've just realised that I've unintentionally arranged to play all English or British artists on the show today. So it's just a full English show. Not going to spoil anything. But the next track I'm going to be playing for you is from Aphex Twin. Before I get into that, I'm just going to play a quick radio ad from one of Dr. Dean's new spin-off series for his Quarantine Cookout show. So here that is now.
Check out Quarantine Cookout on Viral Media. This week, I'll be shut up! I'll be making some very good dinner, so make sure you join in and watch.
Okay, that was slightly, once again, quite disturbing. I don't know why we're not checking these when he sends them to us. I should really have a guy look at that, so I apologise if that disturbed anyone. But anyway, I'll get back to the Aphex Twin track. This track's from Come to Daddy, the EP by him from 1997. Obviously, Aphex Twin has been such a huge influence on electronic styles of music within the last 20, 25, 30 years. I must be honest, I've not listened to a very extensive amount of Aphex Twin. I've listened through Window Liquor, which is a pretty heavy little single from him. It's the one where it's got a picture of well, actually most of his singles have got a picture of his face on top of someone else, and this one happens to be a supermodel in a bikini with his face plastered over the top, so just look out for that one. I'm not going to be playing you a track from Window Liquor though. I'm going to be playing one from Come to Daddy, as I said. This is the second track from that EP, and it's one that I always mispronounce. It looks like it should be Film, just in my defense here. I was going to say Film, but it's actually Flim, so I'm just going to cut to the chase and play that for you here. This is Flim from Come to Daddy by Aphex Twin. Aphex Twin with Flim there from his 1997 EP Come to Daddy. Quite a sweet one, I think, from him, considering his other stuff is quite off the wall, techno, electronic, experimental. I don't really know what to call it, but yeah, that's quite a sweet, nice track from him. The next track that I've got for you is one that I came across fairly recently. This album came out last year in August. It's from a British hip-hop duo going by the name of God Status. That's G-A-W-D, God. The track that I'm going to be playing for you, I heard it on the radio and I just thought it was great. Just a really solid hip-hop track from some great new British artists. It's from their album Firmamentum. It's a really interesting album. I've listened. It's quite short. It's half an hour long, but it's really interesting. It's sort of cuts between this hip-hop and then like African beats tracks, and also there's sort of this underlying story or ideology going through the whole album of all these conspiracies about the ninth planet and all this really cool stuff. So I definitely recommend giving this album a listen and giving them a follow. They're fairly small at the moment. This is the only piece of work that they've put out, but so far it's been really impressive. I'll give you a little taster of that now by playing you this track that I really like. Just such a fantastic track, really. So I'll go ahead and play that for you now. This is Messiah Hybrids from God Status.
When you look at the Hebrew letters of Yahweh, you stand those letters up and you have a body. You have the arm, leg, arm, and supreme head. Now Yahweh means God. You stand those words up and you see that the original man is God. This is the secret that they've always strove to hide from us.
5'7" and black from the melanin. You're hearing this, blessed with wet African heritage. Beat searching for the God, look here it is. Descendants from the knowledge of the pyramids. Bonafide Giza from the bones they find in Giza. Kemet is the science, my art is the teacher. Walk the earth, original design. Shut up the Sphinx nose, we know the biggest crime. Splice cells, Anunnaki. Improve the design, I'm made properly. God's work in a God's body. Sumerian tablets, knowledge of technology. Devolution since we became human. Creator not from the place you've been. Given a cold mind as deep as a cold mine. The emotions gold, the thoughts is diamond. Atomic structure of a DT. Metals in the chemtrail, stifling my frequency. Pull on the heartstrings, whether it be deadly. God communicate with vibrations and energy. Snuff all rappers, this head of God status. ETs came and made all that matters. Planet X, Nibiru came looking for gold, so they engineered you. Superior, man, human. Mesopotamia, where you begin. God blessing them, but do not approach or question him. Standing on the shoulder of a Nephilim. The bigger the lie, the more it's believed. Deception is the key, keep dividing you and me. Astronomy, the book of Enoch. 100 chapters, 5 sections, and now you see God. Book of watches, cannot walking upright. Fallen ones are angels, oversight. Sons of God, the daughters of the earth, your highness. No question of the bloodline, Messiah hybrids.
The Anunnaki, which means those of royal blood, princely offspring, or those who Anu sent from heaven to earth, are believed to be a group of gods or deities that inhabited the earth during the time of the ancient Sumerian culture in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia itself means land between rivers.
That was Messiah Hybrids by God Status from their 2019 album Firmamentum. What a fantastic track. I think that album was one of the best things to come out of British hip hop in quite a while. Definitely recommend giving that a listen. That was King Kashmir and Joker Star. These are the two that make up God Status. Just some really interesting beats, really well produced hip hop. I'm hoping to hear some more from them in the future. Hopefully they get a bit more recognition. They're pretty small at the minute, but I really hope people start listening to them a bit more. To hear anything come out of the British hip hop scene at the minute would just be great. Okay, well, this is happening again. I thought we would have made it through the whole broadcast without this happening, but it consistently happens every single time I do a show. This guy's trying to hack in. I don't know why. Everything he says is lies. Just don't listen to it. Everyone I've tried to get help to stop him can't do it. I have to fire them. I'm just gonna say it's gonna happen. He's gonna hack into it. It may not seem like it now, because no, it's definitely gonna happen. Okay, he's just turned the broadcast off. Unless he stopped trying. I don't know. Okay, maybe not. We might be alright here. Okay, now I'll carry on with the...
Let me ask you this now. How can a mere group of elitists control a population of millions? Isolation. Keeping the people cooped inside, obeying orders like factory chickens. Being fed fake news through the media as you have no choice but to sit back and listen. This form of peaceful communism is one of the, if not the most ambitious attempts to control the different nations through fear. And what do us humans do when we fear? Band together and seek support from the people around us. Therefore, we start moving as a group, a herd of sheep. They are controlling you through fear. Seek the truth on viral media.
Okay, so that happened again. Just ignore all of that. Everything there is just lies, and it's just someone playing a joke, okay? I'll just carry on with we're coming close to the end of the show. I'll just get to the end of it now, okay? So we're coming to the end of the show now. I hope you've all enjoyed listening. Maybe you've heard a few things that you've liked, that you're looking to a bit further. Hope everyone's still feeling relaxed and positive, working towards some things, and just thinking into the future. If you've enjoyed this, be sure to check out all of the other content on the Viral Media YouTube channel. We've got some quarantine cookout from Dr. Dean and a few react shows from a couple of the Viral Media workers, so check that out. So I'm going to leave you with a track here which normally makes me feel pretty good when I've had a rough day. It's the one that makes me feel pretty optimistic about what's to come. I think it's quite fitting for right now with everything that's going on. So this track is from The and their 1983 album Soul Mining. I only recently found out that The is one of the hardest words for people to pronounce in the English language. So for anyone who's foreign and speaking English, it's normally that TH sound is just incredibly hard to pronounce. So a band like The is just sort of kicking the boot in on that, really. So the track that I'm playing is the second one from this album. And like I said before, it makes me feel quite optimistic. So that's what I'll leave you with today. I hope you've had a good week, and I hope you're looking forward to the future. This is The Day by The.
This morning, 'cause you didn't go to bed. You were watching the whites of your eyes turn red. The calendar on your wall is ticking. The days off. You've been reading some old letters. You smile and think how much you've changed. All the money in the world couldn't buy back those days. You pull back your curtains and the sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is the day your life will surely change. This is the day when things fall into place. You sun burns into your eyes. You watch a plane flying across a clear blue sky. This is the day